Alright, still here working on the old red Baron. I wanted to open up a box, and there's our parts laid out. Open up a box here. It just came in today. Let's get a safe cutting tool. I think I need to get a different camera. This one. Alright. These are supposed to be Baffle seals. And I think I still have a package coming for gaskets. Let's see. This came from Guy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. So Guy stamped out all this material, which is factory pressed from Beechcraft. So Guy has all the cutters, stamps to stamp out material for these baffles and gaskets and other stuff for Beechcraft. And he's had that since 1985, or he's had it since the 80s. And $550, he stamps out the whole set for both engines for all this old baffling. All this stuff in here, all this is going to be brand new. All this stuff I said's wore out. That box has all the materials to do the cowling, the engine, the undercowling, both sides, and then some. And then the gaskets to put all the accessories back on, including taking the exhaust off and taking the intake off, and just completely stripping that down and resealing the whole engine compartment, which is what I'd like to do. What I'd like to do, perfect world, is take the prop off, pull the engine after I get the exhaust and all that stuff off, pull the engine, set the engine down on a stand or some kind of support, and take off the engine mount and go have it sandblasted and powder coated, because she is rusty. All this is the engine mount, and it bolts. They bolt 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the airplane that this whole engine sits on, and then they all come down here to this. Looks like a carriage, and this is the motor mount, runs all the way down and bolts to the firewall, and then it has arm support, bolts up to the upper part, and it fits into the wing. So the whole intake balance tube, all of this, take off, get to a point, they pull the engine. It was just sitting on rubber grommets, set it on the ground, on those grommets of some sort, in some way, without hurting anything. And then clean the whole engine bay. Like I said, sandblast and powder coat the engine mount, send it out, go in here and run new wiring. Yeah, that's what I really would like to do with this. This is really what it calls for. If you want a serviceable airplane, you gotta make it serviceable. And this all being rusty is just not good. It's not kosher, as the small hats would say. It's like eating a cheeseburger. It's just wrong. Yeah, all that. See how old this stuff is? All that stuff in that box over there is brand new. For all these little spots, you can't take and buy it by the roll and cut it and piece it out because of the way that's all bent, turned, and goes around. All has to be cut out like cookie cutter, and then come down and press on a flat sheet and cut them out in their shapes. And they're really quite a bit of them. Can't quite tell. So the underlying baffle part that comes underneath has it all inside it as well. So both these engines are going to look like brand new housings. Pretty close. That's why I like to work on this one. This one's okay for now, but I like to square this one away. And then later, square that one away. We'll have the prop off. It's really not too hard. This is really not complicated. It's like I said, this is 1930s technology. You can pull each one of these heads off. As an A&P mechanic and assisted as the owner, and I'm being supervised, I can pull that cylinder head off and pull the pin and keep the piston in the cylinder head, pull the whole jug out, send it out and have it repaired, and I can put it back on, as long as I followed with, signed off by an A&P. Not an I. You don't need an inspector, just A&P change cylinder heads. Matter of fact, an A&P can rebuild the whole engine, and the engine just splits out. Those bolt holes in there, the engine just splits down the middle of two halves. So it's like a Volkswagen engine. Basically, it's a Volkswagen type engine. More like a Porsche.